supposed to be your teacher to make you understand about a language, which is English. You all have joined Hello English program. This is a pro program. So before we go ahead and understand more about it, this is one slide that I want to show. This is the pro program that we are talking about. And in this pro program, very simple, you have to download the application of Hello English. By doing that, you are able to join us, but we can only talk to each other through chat. But if you take this pro program, you join the Zoom direct class where we can talk, we can speak, we can hear, we can understand, we can change the pronunciation itself, the better way of improvising yourself. So that's a beautiful platform. If you wish to join this Hello English pro program, there is an extra fees that you have to pay. But if you choose that who is going to be your teacher, that choosing here means that you are going to check the teachers because they're taking their classes since morning at 11 o'clock until 8 o'clock. So whichever teacher you feel, as per your time, you are comfortable, go and start joining their classes regularly. If you want to come for my class, I am available in the evening 6 to 7. My name is Veena and the spelling is VEENA. This you will be requiring to type when you're taking English Pro and you're selecting the teacher. So VEENA with the code 1010. If you do that, you are good to come and most welcome in my class. And this is what I have to. You have to give me a second. I am coming back. Don't forget. Don't leave anywhere. I have to talk to my office people because I'm not able to see the chat there. Stay there. I'm going to call them up. So welcome Hemvati, Manjunatha and Kumut for joining, but you need to give me 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, 2 seconds there. It's all well. Now it is perfect. We can see the people, those who have joined on chat. So let me say hello to them as well and then we'll start. By the time, those who have just joined, go and set for a notebook because today we are going to learn and talk about future tense. Let me welcome Muskan Krishna Kumar. Hello, aap kaise ho? Main bilkul. Very good evening. Hemvati, I just welcomed you. Martin Hulu, thank you for joining. Somebody has written in Arab and I don't understand Arabic language, so I'm sorry. I don't know your name. Izil Kumar, Martin Hulu, Hirva Shinde, Renu Shukla, Sushil Biswas, Vandana Chaudhary. Hi, how are you doing? Okay, so Krishna, you are a new. Hold yourself tight. Vapuni Patra, very, very good evening. Manjinder Singh, Santosh Tejwar, Bhumika, Krishna Kumar Kanaya, and then there is somebody talking to, no, there is no one talking here, but somebody is saying that even if you are new, doesn't matter. Thank you for giving that, it's a kind of a belief to the other person that they're saying here is great. Chiku, Suna, Kumut, thank you for joining. Krishna and Muskan. Aaiye shuru karte hain. I hope you are able to see this. See my slides. Those who have joined here on app through Zoom, everyone is welcome. I hope you all are sitting tight with your notepads and pen. Let's get started. Today we are going to talk about third tense form, which is the future tense. We have been talking about the tenses from past 2 days. Today is Wednesday. So we started with present and then we did something related to the past. And today we are talking about the future tense as well. So future, what is this future? Future is something which is going to happen. पहली बात तो future को समझिए. फ्यूचर एक ऐसा शब्द है जो कहना चाहता है आने वाले वक्त के बारे में। सामने अभी वो चीज नहीं दिख रही है, तो जब वो चीज नहीं दिख रही है उसको हम कैसे बोलेंगे? ये कौन से वक्त की बात है? ये उस वक्त की बात है जो अभी आया ही नहीं है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द क्लास इज जस्ट स्टार्टेड। हमने कल किया था। दिस इज व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ टेंस, प्रेजेंट टेंस वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, एंड दिस इज समथिंग which is just scheduled, we have just started. But 7 o'clock the class is going to get over. This the word phrase here, going to, is something which is emphasizing and telling us about something which will happen in future. She will be coming to my home. So will is coming. Will is something which is denoting to you about the future. There are other rules as well. Let's get started. जहां जरूरत पड़े आप स्नैपशॉट लेके अपने पास नोट्स की तरह सेव करिए। उन स्नैपशॉट्स को नोटबुक में कॉपी करिए, उनको पढ़िए अपने फ्री वक्त में। सैटरडे संडे में नहीं आती हूँ, अगर आप कोई दूसरी क्लास नहीं अटेंड करते हैं तो जरूर इनको पढ़िए। आप पढ़िए नहीं, सेल्फ स्टडी करिए। ओनली देन यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट इन अ बेटर वे। As far as this future tense is concerned, there are several ways. बहुत सारे तरीके हैं of talking about the future in English. Now, बहुत सारे तरीके में सिंपल फ्यूचर भी है, कंटिन्यूस फ्यूचर भी है और परफेक्ट फॉर्म भी है। उसको भी हम समझेंगे। पहले हम सिंपल फ्यूचर को समझ लेते हैं। सिंपल फ्यूचर के अंदर द टेंस, द गोइंग टू फॉर्म इज सपोज टू बी द सिंपल प्रेजेंट। सिंपल प्रेजेंट का मतलब है साधारण तरीके से, एक एक्शन साधारण तरीके से आने वाले वक्त की बात कर रहा है। यहाँ कोई एक्शन अभी से चलता हुआ फ्यूचर पे नहीं जा रहा, फ्यूचर से चलता हुआ आने वाले फ्यूचर पे नहीं जा रहा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। साधारण सा है जिसके बारे में हम बात करना चाह रहे हैं। मोस्ट सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म दैट गोज इन द सेक्शन ऑफ योर सिंपल फ्यूचर टेंस। तो हियर सिंपल फ्यूचर टेंस इज यूज्ड टू टॉक अबाउट। हम इसको अप्लाई कहाँ करेंगे? सिंपल फ्यूचर को कहाँ कहाँ अप्लाई किया जाता है? सिंपल फ्यूचर को सबसे पहले अप्लाई किया जाता है ऐसी चीजों पे जिससे हमारा कोई बस नहीं है। जैसे आई शैल बी 20 नेक्स्ट संडे। So people sit and celebrate their birthdays, and we all get very happy about it. But no one in the world has the capacity to hold their year. Year in the sense, how many births you have already been in this world there. So you are going to be 20 or 30 or 50, whatever it is, that's not under your control. But of course, you know that your birthday is lined up. You know that your date of birth is coming. So you are going to use a simple present tense to denote it. Of course, if you're talking about any celebration, if it is Diwali, you are going to talk about it is Diwali. If it is Eid, if it is Christmas, so it is lined up. We know there are dates, it is defined. So this is something which is not under your control. So things which are not under your control but will be coming in the future, आने वाले वक्त में वो आपके सामने आएंगी, उसको हम फ्यूचर सिंपल फ्यूचर टेंस में डालते हैं। We will know our exam results in May. For example, there are a lot of changes which has happened in COVID itself, and we thought ये हमें पता चलेगा, वैक्सीन आएगी तो हम देखेंगे। ये सब सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस के ही साधारण से सेंटेंसेस बनते हैं, क्योंकि ये सब हमारे आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल वाले सेंटेंसेस हैं। As in the above sentences, sorry, B part, we use this tense to talk about what we think or believe will happen in future. बिलीव, इस शब्द पे थोड़ा गौर करिएगा। बहुत सारी चीजों पे हम जब फ्यूचर की बात करते हैं तो भरोसे पे बात करते हैं। आई विल बी हैविंग 5 लाख आफ्टर 3 months। आपको ये विश्वास है कि ये पैसे आपके पास आएंगे, कहीं ना कहीं आपने उसके बारे में कुछ कहीं से कुछ आने की व्यवस्था कर रखी है, इसलिए आप होप लेके बैठे, बिलीफ लेके बैठे हैं। तो वी यूज दिस टेंस टू टॉक अबाउट व्हाट वी थिंक और बिलीव। तब जब भी हम इस तरह की बिलीव सेक्शन की बात करते हैं तो वहां पे आप डेफिनेटली सिंपल प्रेजेंट की बात करेंगे। आई थिंक पाकिस्तान विल विन द मैच। आई थिंक तालिबान विल टेक केयर ऑफ वुमेन राइट्स। ऐसा हम बिलीव करते हैं, लेकिन फ्यूचर बताएगा कि क्या होने वाला है। बट ऐसे थॉट में हम सिंपल प्रेजेंट की ही बात करते हैं। I am sure Helen will get a first class. I am sure Helen will. I think Pakistan will. ये जो शब्द है ना will, ये हेल्पिंग वर्ब है जो फ्यूचर को डिनोट करता है। इसकी प्लेसिंग आपको किस तरह से करनी है आगे सेंटेंसेस में मैं समझाती हूँ, बट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड यूजिंग अ सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस for two major reasons. Something which is out of your control, something which you believe will happen. As in the above sentences, we often use this sentence with I think and I'm sure. We also say I expect, believe, probably. So what is this? ये है simple sentence जो future की बात करते हैं, right? So this is a simple future tense. लेकिन इनको कहने का तरीका अलग अलग तरीके हैं कहने के। आप किसी को ये कह सकते हैं कि देखो वो पिंक कुर्ते में जो लड़की खड़ी है, द गर्ल स्टैंडिंग इन पिंक कुर्ता, ओके, अ गर्ल वेयरिंग अ पिंक कुर्ता, अ गर्ल विथ pink bag, okay, the pinky is standing in the center of the chalk. So these are different ways of projecting. है वही चीज, हम उसी एक जने की बात कर रहे हैं, but everybody has a way of saying it. So when we talk about the future simple tense of making a sentence, we have to use, rather we should use like I think, because it's future. तो आप अपनी सोच से बता रहे हैं, जरूरी नहीं है कि वो सच होगा, बट मैं ऐसा सोचती हूँ कि मेरा बच्चा हमेशा अव्वल आएगा, तो ही इज गोइंग टू बी द बेस्ट, आई थिंक, आई एम श्योर, आई प्रोबेबली, आई एक्सपेक्ट, आई बिलीव. So this is something, these are all vocabulary words used with simple future. We can use this tense when we decide to do something at the time of speaking. Like अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं, तो बात करते करते क्लास लेते लेते कई बार मुझे आपको कहना पड़ता है, देखिए आज क्लास थोड़ी सी एक्सटेंड हो जाएगी, सेक्शन थोड़ा लंबा है. So this is what it is trying to say, that the time period where you are in, this is the present time, and here only you get to understand that things are going to get little late, it's going to extend. तो कई बार हमें ये सेंटेंस सिंपल प्रेजेंट का फ्यूचर के साथ में इस्तेमाल, फ्यूचर टेंस, सिंपल फ्यूचर टेंस के लिए इस्तेमाल में लेना पड़ता है. वी कैन यूज when we decide to do something while we are speaking, मतलब it is raining, I will take an umbrella, Mr. Sinha is very busy at the moment, all right, I will wait. So all these three sentences क्या कहना चाहते हैं कि अभी बारिश हो रही है, मैं एक अम्ब्रेला ले लेती हूँ, अभी वो बिजी है, ठीक है मैं वेट कर लूंगी. तो क्या गारंटी है कि मिस्टर सिन्हा आपको इतना टाइम देने वाले हैं कि आप उनको वेट कर लेंगे, पर बिलीव है ना, you believe. And if you go to a place like Bombay, you know it's going to rain any given point of time. So if the people there will always give you this thought by saying it, जब भी घर से बाहर निकलो अम्ब्रेला साथ लेके निकलो, because if they know, they have this experience, but they believe it is going to rain. So when you believe such things, you need to take care of such thoughts as well. Just a second, please. Now this going to, जैसे मैंने आपको will के बारे में बताया, going to is a very commonly used for future tense. We use the going to form. अब इसको काम में कैसे लेते हैं, सब्जेक्ट के साथ में be क्या है आपका हेल्पिंग वर्ब, उसके साथ में आपने go ing going to को लगाया, प्लस उसके साथ में बेस फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब. बेस फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब कौन सा हुआ, जो वर्ब है हमारा, जो एक्शन हमें शो करता है, जो मेन वर्ब का काम करता है यहाँ पे. When we have decided to do something before talking about it, जब हमने कोई चीज को डिसाइड कर दिया है, तो हम going to का इस्तेमाल कब करते हैं, जब हम कोई चीज पहले से ही डिसाइड कर लेते हैं. So when do we use going to? When things are already decided. Now how do we frame it in a sentence? Framing in the sentence has to be, there has to be a subject. This subject has to agree with the be, that is the helping verb. If the subject is singular, put the helping verb singular. If it is plural, put it plural. But it is going to be, it is something which is related to the subject, which is singular or plural at the same time. But when you are using going to, use this helping verb with going to, and then put the main word there, and then put the rest of the object that you want to speak about. That's the way that you are going to frame sentences with going to. Let's see, decide. Have you decided what to do? Yes, I am going to resign the job. So here the question has been asked and how the person is answering, because presently the person is working. So the person is saying, I'm taking from here the sentence, which is the base form. I is the subject, am is the be form, going to is something for future. Resign is supposed to be the base form of the verb. The job is the object. Why do you want to sell your motorbike? I am going to buy a car. So when there is a question of what is going to happen, I am accordingly giving the answer. But today I have decided in this moment for something which will happen in the future. So how have I placed myself? I use the subject I, the first person, with the be form, am. Then we are using going to talk about the future. Buy is an action word. It is the main verb used here. A car, that's an object that we are talking about. Remember that if the action is already decided upon and preparations made, that means अगर आपके फ्यूचर के अंदर कोई भी काम होने वाला है, जैसे मेरी बच्ची की शादी, डेट डिसाइड हो गई है, या मेरे कॉलेज का एडमिशन, या आने वाले टाइम में मैं अपने घर का निर्माण इस दिन शुरू करूंगा. आई एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट माय हाउस, building my house on that particular day for XYZ reason. So this is something you have decided today for the future. Something which is going to happen in the future. So what does it say? We should use the going to form, not the simple future tense. Now, what is the difference with the going to and the simple future tense? Is go plus ing. So you are not only going to use the simple present, you have to use the going to form there. The simple future tense is used for instant decision. That means when you decide to do something right away, जब आप कोई डिसीजन को उसी वक्त लेते हैं, तब हम बात करेंगे सिंपल फ्यूचर की. लेकिन अगर आपकी कोई प्लानिंग ऑलरेडी कर रहे हैं आप फ्यूचर की, 2 महीने बाद मैं मेरी बेटी की शादी करने वाला हूँ, और आई एम गोइंग टू गेट मैरिड, तब हम गोइंग टू का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. We also use the going to form to talk about what seems likely or certain when there is something in the present. Likely और certain का मतलब कि आने वाले वक्त में बारिश बहुत तेज होने वाली है, क्योंकि मैंने बादलों को देखा है, वो काले हो गए. I can see it's getting heavy. The rain is getting, the clouds are getting heavy and it's going to rain heavily. So it is going to rain. Look at those clouds. So this is something a probability, but I'm very certain about it. And how do I get certain about it? Because the present situation is something that can be seen. आप किसी को बहुत तेज स्कूटर चलाते हुए देखते हो तो आपको लगता है ना, देखना है अब इस बच्चे का एक्सीडेंट होगा. क्यों बोला आपने ये बात? क्योंकि आप देख रहे हो कि उसकी स्पीड लिमिट बहुत हाई है, रिस्की चला रहा है, तो आप फ्यूचर को प्रेडिक्ट कर पा रहे हो. That there we use the simple present form there. The boy.
शॉर्टकट से क्या?
विष्णु क्या हुआ? Vishnu, you have to say something?
No, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. So we also use the going to form to talk about what seems likely or certain when there is something in the present which tells about the future. The boat is full of water, is going to sink. It's very, very logical. Too much of plastic used. What is happening around the world? We know क्या होने वाला है कल. हम लोग कोई नहीं रहेंगे जिस तरह से हम हमारे ओशन को, लैंड एरिया को खराब कर रहे हैं. तो हम क्या करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? पूरी ह्यूमैनिटी खत्म करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. दिख रहा है सामने में. She is going to have a baby because she is 8 months pregnant. She is going to deliver a baby. That's for sure. So we use going to form when there are certainty, when we are sure about it. The going to form may also express an action which is on the point of happening. ये चीज अब होने ही वाली, जैसे आप मान लीजिए 6 बजे का टाइम है लॉग इन करने का, and 5:55 you are talking to someone on the phone. What are you going to say? I am going to join the class. That means it is just about to happen. And there is a surety of thing that is going to happen. So you have to use the word going to. The section phrase that we have taken up here. Look, the cracker is going to explode. आपने अगर माचिस लगाया है, उसको जलाने की क्रैकर को कोशिश करी है, if you want to lit it, then of course you know that it's going to blast, or the cracker is just going to explode. So let's get into the train is going to leave. This is a very, very simple feature to see. You already have reached the station and you know it is 6 o'clock. It's about to start. So we are going to say it's going to start. Be about to. This is another form of expressing yourself when we talk about BE क्या है? Helping verbs है. BE यहाँ पे मैं कई बार बता चुकी हूँ. This is a helping verb which is actually used for am, is, arer, was, were, and there are other forms pieces as well. But ये base form है जिनको हम लेके चलते हैं. फिर उसके साथ हम जोड़ते हैं about to. इसका मतलब subject plus be plus about to plus the base form of the verb and then the object. That's the way we talk about placing and making of a sentence. ये बिल्कुल वैसा ही जैसे हम कोई खेल खेलते हैं, उसमें एक सेक्शन फिर दूसरा सेक्शन फिर तीसरा सेक्शन, and then you are able to build something that you are looking for. That's exactly the way you form these sentences. Let's get an about to में क्या काम आता है. It can also be used for immediate future. That means when we are talking about something which is immediate going to happen in the future. Let's get into the train is about to leave. तो हम going to भी बोलेंगे तो गलत नहीं, हम about to भी बोल सकते हैं. हम ये दोनों के में को इस्तेमाल में ले सकते हैं. It's just variety. How to express yourself. This is another variety which we can see here. Don't go out now. We are about to have lunch. So going to and about to usage इसी तरह से है. अब simple present tense को क्यों काम में लेते हैं ये हमने बात कर रखी है, लेकिन ये जो present form है ये future के लिए काम में आता है. So simple present tense is used for official programs and timetables. But कब होता है ये official programs? When the schools are going to open after 2 months, it's a future that we're talking. But in that also we have to use the present form. So this slide has been inserted here. The college opens on 23rd of June, but today it is just January going on. Just an example. It's a January month going on, but you're talking about the opening or happening in the June. It's a future past, but वहाँ भी हमें simple present tense सामने लेना पड़ता है. The film starts at 6:30 and finishes at 9. Might be I'm just referring somebody 2 days before, and that too with the morning hours. But I'm talking about the short part of the time when the movie is going to start in the movie hall. When does the next train leave for Chennai? Now that's a definite part that is going to leave. We know that I can leave to Dubai from this particular place. So, but I don't know the time of the flight. But this again, I'm going to use for your simple present form. The simple present tense is often used for future time in clauses with if. Always remember these clauses. Most helpful. You have to use these clauses when you are talking about the future time. If, unless, if it rains, unless you study hard, when, while, as, before, after, until, by the time, and as soon as. As soon as, just a second, I need to just decline this call. Okay. I am sorry for this disturbance. Please. Sorry for the trouble there. You are out. You were in the class only. That's fine. I took you inside. So here when we talk about the simple future tense is not used in such cases, in which cases we do not use it. I won't go out if it rains, not will rain. If मतलब अभी हमने क्या कहा था, will को हम किस में लगाते हैं, फ्यूचर के लिए लगाते हैं. अब फ्यूचर को ही प्रिडिक्शन की यहाँ पे बात हो रही है, पर प्रिडिक्शन जब हम कर रहे हैं तो उसमें गारंटी पार्ट नहीं है, हमें श्योरिटी नहीं है. तो जब वो श्योरिटी नहीं है तो हम सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस का जो सेंटेंस बनाते हैं, when we are making a simple present tense sentence, when we are not sure about it, we are using these words, right? If, unless, when, while, before, until, after, by the time, as soon as. So when we are using such terms, we are putting them, we are placing, we are making a sentence in a simple present way. But it's talking about the future. Don't forget that part. Huh? Can I have some milk before I go to bed? अब बिफोर आई गो टू बेड, अभी मैं गया नहीं हूँ ना, बट मैं अभी से ही कह रहा हूँ कि भाई मुझे दूध मिल जाएगा जब मैं सोने के लिए जाऊँ. तो यू आर टॉकिंग हियर अबाउट समथिंग विच इज हैविंग ऑल दीज future time clauses. When in a sentence you are seeing such future clauses, always use a simple present tense, but all the sentences that you are trying to use for simple present are actually talking about the future. वो बात आने वाली कल की कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको सेंटेंस सिंपल प्रेजेंट में ही बनाना होता है. नेक्स्ट आके देखें, प्रेजेंट कॉन्टिन्यूअस टेंस. अब कॉन्टिन्यूअस काफी बार बताया है, लेकिन फिर से बता देते हैं. कोई भी शब्द, इस शब्द का मतलब क्या है, कोई चीज का चलते जाना. जब हम बात करते हैं कि कोई चीज चल रही है, आई एम गोइंग टू शिमला टुमारो, मतलब क्या है, मैं शिमला जा रही हूँ. गोइंग टू फॉर्म क्या है, फ्यूचर को प्रोडिक्ट कर रहा है, पर वो आईएनजी है, पर बोला कब जा रहा है, एम लगाते ही वो प्रेजेंट टेंस में बोला जा रहा है. तो यहाँ पे वो प्रेजेंट टेंस में तो है, पर बात किसकी कर रहा है, वो फ्यूचर की कर रहा है. एंड द एक्शन इज हैपनिंग. आईएनजी फॉर्म का मतलब होता है कंटिन्यूएशन फॉर्म. तो आई एम गोइंग टू, मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में ही गोइंग टू शब्द आया तब भी क्या कहा था, बेस फॉर्म क्या है, गो दिया. तो इट्स अ प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूअस टेंस बट फॉर फ्यूचर. आई एम गोइंग टू बाय अ न्यू हाउस, अभी थोड़ी खरीदा, बट अभी तुम इस बात को प्रेजेंट स्टेट में डिक्लेयर कर रहे हो, अफर्म कर रहे हो कि भाई मैं आने वाले टाइम में एक घर खरीदने वाला हूँ. पर तुम कब बोल रहे हो ये बात, प्रेजेंट टेंस में बोल रहे हो. कैसे पता चला ये प्रेजेंट टेंस है, यू आर यूजिंग आई के साथ में हेल्पिंग वर्ब एम. एज आई सेड, द हेल्पिंग वर्ब व्हेन मेन वर्ब के साथ यूज करे जाते हैं तो वो हमेशा आपको वक्त बताते हैं. वक्त कौन सा वाला है, प्रेजेंट है, पास्ट है या फ्यूचर है. तो am and is talking about the present form. So when we are talking and making a sentence with the present continuation tense, we have to ensure that the helping verbs are in the present form. And the main verb is going to have the ing. We are eating tonight. So we is the subject. Because we is a plural subject, I am using are there. Eat is the base form of the verb. I am using ing. So eat is my main verb, are is my helping verb, wev is my subject. Out tonight is supposed to be my object. लेकिन tonight मेरे को फ्यूचर के बारे में भी बताता है. रात में, दिन में बता रही हूँ कि मैं रात में खाना खाने बाहर जाऊंगी, फ्यूचर हो गया ना वो. Note, you are advised to use present continuous, not the simple present for personal arrangements. पर्सनल अरेंजमेंट मीन्स आपका खुद से कुछ भी तरह का बाहर जाने का एनी प्लानिंग दैट यू आर हैविंग always should have your continuation tense, present continuation tense. Let's now the plane dash at 3:30. Kumud, the plane arrives at 3:30. अब ये सिंपल प्रेजेंट में है. देखो शिवानी, समझो बात को. ये क्या कहना चाहता है? ये एक शेड्यूल्ड प्रोग्राम है. ठीक है, तो शेड्यूल्ड प्रोग्राम में भी सबसे पहली चीज ये बताई गई थी, जब भी शेड्यूल्ड प्रोग्राम होता है, एक फिक्स्ड प्रोग्राम होता है, वो हमेशा सिंपल प्रेजेंट में रहेगा, चाहे वो आने वाले टाइम की बात कर रहा है, फ्यूचर की बात कर रहा है. जैसे आपको एग्जाम्पल दिया था कि स्कूल जून में खुल रहे हैं, बट मैं अभी जनवरी में बात कर रही हूँ, पर वो प्रेजेंट टेंस में रहते हैं हमेशा, कुछ चेंज नहीं होगा उसके अंदर. तो आपको विल अराइव तो उठाना ही नहीं है, सिंपल अराइव. अराइव भी क्यों उठाना है? क्योंकि हम प्लेन PLANE ये थर्ड पर्सन है, इसलिए हमने एस वाला फॉर्म साथ में लिया. तो कुमुद, चेतन, हेमवती, तान्या, विष्णु, अवाई, थैंक यू फॉर गिविंग मी द राइट आंसर. लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट एंड चेक दिस आउट. The correct or the most suitable form of the verb, I will phone you when he dash back. Very good, Kumud. When he comes back. So Kumud and Chetan have given me the right answer for this. Let's check the next. Dhananjay also. I dash Joshi is this evening. Joshi. वो apostrophe नहीं लगा है वहां पे. My apologies for the typing error there. I am visiting the Joshi this evening. यही सेंटेंस हम क्या कह रहे हैं? फ्यूचर का प्रिडिक्शन है, शेड्यूल्ड प्लान है. तो आई क्या है? सब्जेक्ट से बात कर रहा है. कब बात कर रहा है? अभी बात कर रहा है, तो उसने AM लगा दिया. और विजिट क्या है? मेन वर्ब है, तो इसने कंटिन्यूशन में उसको लिया ING. लेकिन हो कब रहा है? शाम को, इवनिंग में. दैट्स द वे वी यूज इट. Vishnu, Satish, Neeta, and Krishna and Hemvati. Thank you for giving me the right answer. Let's go to the next and try this out. Oh, great. Chetan, Kumud, Mol, Hemvati, Andhi. Okay. Can I have Ajmol for reading this sentence for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Look at those black clouds. It is going to rain.
Okay. Any questions related to going to? You have Ajmol with me. समझ आ रहा है आपको?
Sorry, ma'am?
समझ आ रहा है आपको? कुछ पूछना है आपको इससे रिलेटेड?
नहीं मैम, समझ आ रहा है.
Okay, thank you. Pick the correct or most suitable form of the verb. Unless we dash, now we can't be on time. Chetan and Kumud. Unless we start. Unless है, देखिए वो शब्द हमने बात करी थी इन शब्दों के बारे में. Unless we start, now we cannot be on time. ये सेंटेंस दोबारा आया बेटा सामने. शिवानी सामने आओ मेरे. से हेलो टू मी शिवानी. शिवानी, गलती से तो 2 बार गलती नहीं हो सकती ना बेटा. ये तो कहीं आपको शायद समझने में दिक्कत आ रही है. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am, I heard all the slides very carefully, but I don't know why I am doing why I am giving wrong answer.
Okay, it's okay. Did you press the right but option? हम कहते हैं ना, हम
मेरे
इस
को
तरह
चीज
से
आने वाली है।
बिल्कुल, जब हम किसी को हमारे को आ नहीं रही है, बट हमें उस समय नहीं आ रही, बस आने वाली है। यही बात के लिए बार बार हम कह रहे हैं कि ये चीज अभी हुई नहीं है, होने वाली है, तो हमें उसको सिंपल फ्यूचर में डालना पड़ता है। लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पे क्या, आई एम गोइंग टू, क्योंकि ये एक्शन होने वाला है। तो ये जब एक्शन होने वाला है तो आप प्रेजेंट टेंस के साथ में आईएनजी फ्यूचर के लिए जोड़ के बोल रहे हो।
यस मैम।
ओके, थैंक यू। आई नो यू गेव द राइट आंसर, पर फिर भी कोई रह गया हो जो नहीं समझ पाए, इसलिए मैंने ये बात को और स्पेसिफाई कर दिया।
ओके।
हेमवती, व्हाट इज द इशू बेटा? एनी इशू यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड समथिंग, या कुछ गलती हुई है?
No, madam, by mistakenly.
ओके ऐसे देखो, मैं ये मत सोचो कि मैं गलत दे देती हूँ, मैम मुझे पकड़ लेती है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। इट्स दैट if there is something that is an issue, I would like to resolve it there and then before, rather than going forward। फिर क्या होगा, आपको आगे आएंगे तो आपको समझ नहीं आएगा, गलतियां हो जाएंगी, इसलिए
Okay.
मैंने बोला कोई बात नहीं। आई एम श्योर शी विल पास द एग्जाम। तो आप अभी
Good
की
evening, ma'am.
श्योरिटी, वेरी गुड इवनिंग।
It is very difficult to identify the sentence which is present tense or future tense, ma'am.
Anandi, just repeat your sentence again. It was not clear. The internet is not helping me. Just read the sentence, what you said. Please
Ma'am,
repeat it.
it is very difficult to identify the sentence which is present tense and future tense, ma'am.
Anandi, stay there. I'll just help you. Give me a second. It is not difficult. It's easy. Anandi, can you just read the sentence which is just popped up? Just read the correct sentence.
I am sure
Hmm.
this sentence, ma'am.
Yes,
I
yes.
think this is the present tense, but I confused it is a future tense or present tense, ma'am.
No, no, no. This is a present continuation tense it is talking here about. But this is denoting the future. Anandi, how will you help to understand the sentence, whether which time period it is? Have you got a notepad with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, write the sentence, copy the sentence there. I'll just help you. Others also who do not understand, just do as I'm saying to you. Right now, do it. Anandi, just write the sentence on your notebook very, very clearly and put some space there in between.
Yes, ma'am.
Done? Okay. Now just do me a favor. Where you have written I, okay? Where you have written I. Under that I, उस I के नीचे एक single line लगाओ और वहां पे लिखो subject, SUBJECT. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Where you
Yes,
see am, okay? It's apostrophe and then M. You know it is AMM, right? Underline M and on the top. So I is below and I am on the top you are writing. It's a BE form, present. BE, present.
Yes, ma'am.
Done? Now you go ahead. It says, I am sure. She. After that, it's written will. Now, where it is written will, under that will, write down future tense. Under will, write down future tense.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when you see, what does it show? It shows that the subject is in the present state. By using the BE form, which we come to know, it's in the present state, the statement is being given. I am sure. And what is the second part of the sentence? She will pass. So in the present, the future section is being talked about, is being projected about. Like a mother, I'm saying that my child has done a lot of hard work and I'm very sure she will pass the exam. So it's a projection that it's a belief that I'm trying to talk about. So it's not difficult to identify. The simple way to identify Anand is through your helping verb. Now in this sentence, Now what you will do in this sentence, there was written I, the subject, and there is something which is written she. That's an object, but this is a third person, and this we are talking about. So here you see two pronouns, I and she. And with both I and she, there is a helping verb coming up. This helping verb is going to help you to tell the time, because that's what a tense is going to do. This is how you have to identify. Was it very difficult?
Yes,
No,
ma'am. Now
madam.
it is clear, ma'am.
That's the point. Now, if it is clear, go slow, Anandi. Don't run as per the other students as they are running. They are coming and they're giving your answers. You don't need to rush. What I have done right now with you is copy the sentences and do the same exercise today itself with you. And from tomorrow, you see the change in you yourself. Your eyes are going to just, pick the way I have made other students learn how to pick up and focus. If you do it once in the future tense, same goes for past and same goes for future. Same goes for continuous, same goes for perfect. It's not tricky. Just the sense has to be used. Okay? Still, we'll try. You find any difficulty, please let me know. Let's try this out.
Sure, ma'am.
My pleasure. So, Kumud, Bishnoi, Shivani, Chetan, Ajmol have very clearly said, help. I am going to fall. I will fall. I am going to fall. वो जैसे बिल्कुल अभी अभी हमने एक बात करी थी where I called Neelam to explain. I am going to sneeze. अभी हुआ नहीं है. मैंने मदद आपकी आवाज लगाई है, इसका मतलब तो अभी स्टेट मेरा सही है. नहीं तो मैं मदद की आवाज तक नहीं लगा सकती थी, वो तो मैं फॉल हो चुकी थी जब तक. तो very good, Chetan, Anandi and Shivani and Vishnu. Thank you. Thank you for the right answer. Hurry up. Program is about to start. Jaldi karo, program abhi chalu hone wala hai. So that's the way that we are going to talk about. Chaliye. The article dash what aging is. The article will describe what aging is. This article, sorry, not the article. आर्टिकल यहाँ पे आप शायद समझ गए होंगे, न्यूज़पेपर के अंदर जो कॉलम्स आते हैं उनको हम आर्टिकल बोलते हैं. तो दिस आर्टिकल विल डिस्क्राइब व्हाट एजिंग इज. तो हो सकता है कोई एडिटर अपने किसी से बात कर रहा हो तो वो ये बात कह रहा हो जर्नलिस्ट कि ये वाला आर्टिकल डिस्क्राइब करेगा कि एजिंग क्या है. अब यहाँ पे एज वर्ड होता है ना, के आईएनजी लगा दिया, देखो अगर किसी ने नोटिस किया हो. तो ये क्या कहना चाह रहा है, दिस आर्टिकल के साथ में उन्होंने बोला विल डिस्क्राइब. विल तो फ्यूचर आ गया, बट आईएनजी लगा के वो एक पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन को, फ्यूचर के कंटिन्यूएशन सेक्शन को डिनोट करने की कोशिश भी कर रहे हैं. Kumud, Chetan, so given the right answer. I think Ajmol, Gopal, Hemvati, Neelam got a little difficulty in understanding this. It will continue to influence people for the same reason. देखो बात समझो, क्या सेंटेंस है ये, will be और will continue को समझना है ना. तो it will continue, will be continuing आएगा अगर be लग गया बीच में. It will be continuing for the same reason. समझ रहे हैं. अगर हमको आईएनजी लगाना होगा तो मुझे बी फॉर्म की हेल्प की जरूरत पड़ जाएगी, नहीं तो सेंटेंस का स्ट्रक्चर गलत हो जाता है. इट विल कंटिन्यू टू इन्फ्लुएंस पीपल फॉर द सेम रीजन. अब ये थोड़ा मैं आपको एक्सटेंड करके आगे लेके जा रही हूँ कि प्लेसिंग हमको राइटिंग एस्पेक्ट पे भी कैसे हमको, इसके अलावा जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग हमने करी है वहां हमको और कितना ध्यान देना.
मैम ये सिंपल फ्यूचर आएगा ना.
अभी पिछला वाला अभी देखते हैं, एक बार इसको कर लें, विल गो बैक. Now the fuel efficient vehicles, स्पेशली ये वाले फ्यूल एफिशिएंट व्हीकल्स, अब तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक आने की बात हो रही है तो हम उसी में डाल देते हैं इनको. द फ्यूल एफिशिएंट व्हीकल्स विल इम्प्रूव आवर एनवायरनमेंट. कोशिश है कि गैसोलीन काम में लेंगे ज्यादा या पेट्रोल काम में लेंगे या डीजल काम में लेंगे, नहीं, ये तीनों ही काम में नहीं लेंगे, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को काम में ले लेते हैं, तो वो फ्यूल एफिशिएंट है, बचाने वाले. ठीक है, अब वो व्हीकल्स है जिसके फ्यूल तैयार करेगा. अब उसके लिए हम ये सोच के, अब ये बिलीव वर्ड मैंने आपको पहले कहा था. somebody has unmuted themselves. Sorry. Okay. Now this is a belief part. जैसा हमने कहा था ना, बिलीफ की हम बात करते हैं, तो वहां पे गोइंग टू आ सकता है या अबाउट टू आ सकता है. अगर आप में से किसी को भी याद हो, तब हमने ये बात करी थी, यू रिमेम्बर इट, इसीलिए शायद वो कंफ्यूजन आपको हुआ होगा. बट यहाँ पे द फ्यूल एफिशिएंट व्हीकल्स विल, श्योरिटी है, क्योंकि उन्होंने वो सारी चीजों का ख्याल रख के ही इसको बनाया है, इसलिए वो विल इम्प्रूव आवर एनवायरनमेंट की बात करेगा. मैं फिर भूल गई को तुम्हारी बात, वापस आती हूँ अभी प्लीज. When it occurs, the scheme that long-term confidentiality. When it occurs, the scheme will not. अब ये NOT not जो होता है, ये नेगेटिव सेंटेंस में आता है. हम पढ़ रहे हैं फ्यूचर टेंस के बारे में, बट मैं आपको साथ साथ नेगेटिव एक सेक्शन भी आ गया है सेंटेंस में, तो उसका भी इंट्रोडक्शन दे देती हूँ. विल के बाद में ही नॉट लगेगा, नॉट विल नहीं लग सकता. इट हैज टू बी आफ्टर द विल, क्योंकि वो फ्यूचर का हेल्पिंग वर्ब है, उसके बाद ही हमको नॉट लगाना है. तो कुमुद, शिवानी, हेमवती, गोपाल, वैष्णवी, अजमोल have given us the right answer. Why I am not able to see the chat, I don't know. I'm really sorry students, those who are on chat. After a certain I'm not able to see the chat. वो सब ब्लॉक हो गया है, रिफ्रेश कर लिया मैंने 2-3 बार, पर मुझे नहीं देख पा रही हूँ. So I reloaded it. Any one of you remember हम कौन से वाली स्लाइड पे पढ़ रहे थे?
Ma'am,
We
it's
are
a
on
20 slide. Number
20
20.
slides, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Am I on the right slide? आप लोगों के जो अभी स्लाइड आई है, क्या वो सही स्लाइड है? All chats are not there. I'm sorry, मुझे नहीं देख पा रही है, मैं उसी का वेट कर रही थी. ओहो, I'm so sorry. Again, there is a little error there. I'm just coming and reaching to you all. Okay. So I will call you when the dinner is ready. I will call you when the dinner will be ready. So Aham, Chetan, Shivani, Neelam, Anandi, and Kumud have given me the right answer. Chetan, which one should I take first or the second option, please?
Ma'am, now I understand, ma'am.
Okay, so which option should I? Okay, Anandi, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Could
ma'am,
you
for
tell
that.
me which option should I take?
Thank you, ma'am, for clear explanation.
Okay, thank you. So which option should I suppose to take? The first or the second one?
First one, ma'am.
Okay. I will call you when the dinner is ready. आइए नेक्स्ट पे ट्राई करके देखते हैं. The chat is not available on my screen. My apologies to all the students there. Even if you are writing anything, मेरे पास chat में कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है. I'm really sorry. Chetan, Kumud, and Ajmol have given me the right answer. All right. Vaishali, this is Jagat. Okay. He will help if you ask him. He will help if you will ask him. अब इसमें देखो दोनों सेंटेंसेस जो ये आए हैं, इन दोनों सेंटेंसेस में एक चीज कॉमन आ रही है कि दो जगह विल का इस्तेमाल होगा. सेकंड सेंटेंस देखिए, I will call you when the dinner will be ready. And see this sentence, it says he will help you. Oh, sorry, he will help if you will ask him. So there is no need to put 2 times will there. Once if the will is there, it is understood that the sentence is taking you to the future tense. ये तो एक बहुत सिंपल, कोई कॉम्प्लिकेट करा हुआ सेंटेंस नहीं था, जो हमें साधारण भाषा में when we are going to talk to people, how we are going to place ourselves, that's very, very important. Now, before I go ahead and go to the next slide, there's just a small reminder to all of you. We were talking about tenses. It's a very difficult part. I don't believe. Until and unless you take the class of future tense simple or the present simple or the past tense more than 4 to 5 times, only then you will have a little assurity that yes, I can understand, I can place, I can make sentences. यहाँ बहुत साधारण लगता है, लेकिन है बहुत confusing. I've been teaching students, and this is the most difficult area, and they practice more than what you people can even think of practicing, but still they find it difficult. It's little tricky, so please don't feel that अरे आज तो फिर से मैम टीचर ले आई है, मुझे तो आता है तो मैं तो नहीं ज्वाइन करूंगी. मत ऐसी गलती मत करना किसी भी टीचर के साथ जुड़ो. जितना इसको सुनोगे, जितना इसको प्रैक्टिस करोगे, ये उतना फाइन होता चला जाए. So please sit down on Saturday and Sunday. If you have taken out any notes, sit down and read it, please. Just a kind request from my side. Next slide, please. Kumud, I think you're on the top again today. This is very clear. Kumud and Chetan and Vishnu has given the right answer. See that you will not do any damage. See that you do not do any damage. So Kumud, Chetan, Vishnu, Gopal, Vishali, and Ajmol have given the right answers there. And the second one, see that you do not do any damage. देखिए आज की हमारे coins हमें क्या बताते हैं. Kumud, as I said, you will, because I could see that every time your answer is coming up on the first slide there. Shabash Kumud on the first. Keep it up, Kumud. So proud of you.
Thank you.
107 coins on the first position. Chetan 97 coins. अरे थोड़ा खुल के बोलो ना Kumud. Thank you. बहुत
Thank
धीमे
you,
स्वर में
ma'am.
बोलो. Chetan 97 coins. Vishnoy 69 coins. Hemvati 61 coins. Ajmol with 57 coins on the fifth position. Neelam is also on the fifth position with 6 coins. Shivani with 52 coins. Anandi with 49 coins. Sushma with 43 coins. There is this user with 38 coins. Physics, and then Kiju, Aham, Santosh, they all are just coming up with few coins there. I'm not calling out the names there. I hope you all understood the class. If somebody has any questions, I'm left with a minute or so. Please go ahead and ask. किसी को कुछ पूछना है? चलिए फिर कल मिलेंगे. Tomorrow again we are going to meet same time 6 o'clock. Please come and log in. Keep your notepads and pen ready whenever you join the class. It's my pleasure to teach you all. God bless you. Stay safe. Neelam, you just welcome there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Neelam. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you all
Thank
the
you.
students, those who have joined on chat. Please मुझसे नाराज मत होना भाई, क्योंकि हम क्या करें, chat नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है. There are some technical reasons. I can't help it. God bless.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's live class. My name is Eden. I give the live classes on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. IST time. So thank you so much for joining. I can see lots of you are joining right now. Welcome Sayeda, welcome Sia, welcome Bhumika, welcome Jyoti, welcome Krishna, welcome back Vishnu. Sayeda says, I'm new here. Well, welcome Sayeda. Let me know if you have any questions. I will try and answer any questions that you have. You can ask about any topic on English, so don't be shy. Good evening, Kamalini. How are you? Well, hi, Krishna. Thank you for joining. So my name is Eden. Like I said to Sayada, ask any questions if you have. I tried to check the chat for any questions. If you want to request any topics for the next classes on Thursday and Sunday, you can. You can ask for some topic or some type of word that you like and want to go through. So if it's tenses that you want to go through, if it's vocabulary, if it's pronunciation. So we haven't yet had a pronunciation class yet. So request that if you would like. So welcome Krishna. Welcome Sapnil. Thank you for joining. Menchu. Welcome back Ishan. Salendra. Good Kamalini. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Thank you for joining Pratap. And Raji, Gaji, hello. Hello. Good evening everyone. So today we're going to try and do a bit of a recap on tenses, but we can also discuss other topics if there are other things that you want to go through. So let's see who's in the chat in the Zoom room. Welcome Shalendra and Raji. Hi Shalendra, hi Raji. Good evening Shalendra, how are you?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm good, ma'am. Thank you. And how are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for reminding me about Independence Day on Sunday. Did you end up having a good evening after your nice celebration?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Excellent. Welcome, Christy. Welcome, Raji. How are you both?
Hi, ma'am. Good evening. I'm good,
Good
ma'am.
evening, Raj.
How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm very good. Have you had a good start to the week?
Yeah, ma'am.
Excellent. And Christy, welcome.
How about
back
you,
as
ma'am?
well.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, it's been good. We had a beautiful sunny weekend. It's a little bit more dark today, a bit of rain clouds, but it was a lovely weekend. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
So, so today we're not doing anything like idioms. I know everybody likes idioms, but a lot of people have been requesting tenses. So we're going to try and cover some tenses, but if anyone has any questions on anything else or any requests for any other topics, let me know. So Raji, if there's anything in particular that you want. I know a while ago you did talk about a topic that I said I would have a think about.
Yeah, ma'am.
Shalendra,
That was quite weird topic. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, a bit difficult.
I was
yeah?
thinking about complex structure, like a big sentence, big paragraph. Yeah, ma'am, because what we have been studying is only one sentence. I want to speak now big sentence, big paragraph.
Yeah, bigger sentences. Okay.
Yeah,
so we can do that.
In which there are
longer sentences.
more than two tenses.
Pardon?
Means compound sentence and complex sentence, ma'am, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We can cover that. That's a very good idea. And that's a very important thing to cover at an advanced level. So yes, let's try and do that maybe on Sunday or Thursday if we get a chance.
Can we cover figure of speech, ma'am?
Yeah, we can. We've done sort of the ideas of metaphors and similes a little bit before, but we can cover other types of figures of speech, other ways to make writing more creative. We can do a creative writing
Yes, ma'am.
week. Okay. So I will try and add that as well to the title of the lesson so that you know when we're doing that. So let's see. Sajid says, why is your face sad today? Oh, my face isn't sad today. I think it's the dark clouds behind me. Maybe it makes a difference. I'm good, Gaji. How are you? Okay. Excellent. So yeah, we'll cover the basics of tenses, and that can lead quite well onto complex sentences because it's a good idea to refresh on those ideas. And then yes, we will look at more complex sentences, adding clauses, connecting sentences in different ways. We might get a chance to discuss a little bit of that today. Kamalini says, any comprehension exercise? Do you want comprehension exercises for the class, for the live classes, or are you asking for a recommendation or somewhere else on the internet where you can get it? So comprehension, you can do a number of ways. You can do through exercises where you have an answer, a way of checking it in a class like this, or by yourself if you can find comprehension exercises with answers, or you can still do comprehension practice on your own, just by listening to things or reading things, and practice asking yourself, what is the idea of what the writing is? What are they trying to say? What's the big idea? If you can understand the big idea, that's one type of comprehension. You don't need to understand every single word. Lots of comprehension exercises will test you on understanding the basic purpose, the reason why something is written or what people are talking about. So you can do listening or reading for comprehension exercises. Both of those are considered comprehension, understanding. So if you can understand the whole thing of what's going on, or you can try and understand specific phrases, specific sentences, if you already understand what the main article is about, for example. So you can test yourself by reading English articles, news articles, magazine articles that you can find online. Use the pictures and the clues from the title to give you an idea of what it's about. And then see how much you can understand in general. Don't start with specific things. Always try to understand the general thing first. And if it's an article that's easy for you, that you understand, but there are difficult phrases or sentences, that's when you can start practicing looking at specific phrases. So if it's at a high level for you, if the writing is at a high level, try and understand what's happening in general, what the whole article is about. But if it's easy for you to understand, then focus on the specific phrases. So that's what you can do by yourself. But just practicing reading is really a good way to improve your comprehension as well. And looking up a few words at a time will help you. Hi, Chitan, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, Kamalini wants to do comprehension in the class. Yeah, we can do that. That's a good idea. We've done reading before, reading speeches, reading different things, but we can do practice comprehension. That's something that has been on my mind. Raji says, how can I speak English fluently? A very, very big question. You're asking, how can you learn to a high level? With any language, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you want to just be able to express yourself quickly, communicate quickly, be able to have things that you always can say in common situations, if you want to be able to talk to other people quite quickly, then you want to be able to practice as much as possible. Have parts of your day where you just do things in English. So maybe it's 30 minutes every Monday you do where you read something in English, or 30 minutes every day where you listen to something in English. Because having that time where you just focus on absorbing something in English is going to really help. And then if you have another, say, 30 minutes on another day where you're actively trying to produce English, so if you're speaking with other people, or you're writing your own phrases and you're trying to write things, that's going to help. So as much immersion as possible, as much time as you can have to spend doing English, but make sure that you're also doing the two things of learning new things through listening or reading, and then you're actually actively trying to write or speak it. If you want to speak fluently, then the main thing is the practice speaking. That's going to be the main thing you can do. But writing skills does help with that, and listening skills also help with speaking, which seems not obvious, but it does really help. But the speaking with other people is going to be the biggest thing. Okay. Yeah, Kamalini says, Vagad, you practice. Yeah, well, you can practice as much as possible, but don't worry about making mistakes, because when you are starting to just try and get to a certain level of fluency, the biggest issue is not the mistakes, it's just getting the chance to practice as much as possible so that you feel comfortable speaking in the language. And once you're comfortable enough, once you feel able to express basic ideas, then you can focus on being more accurate, being more correct, and creating more complex sentences. It depends what level you're at, Gaji, as well. So if you're at a level where you've never practiced speaking English out loud, then that's the first thing, just practice. Hi, so welcome, Rajeshri. Welcome to today's chat. Thank you for joining, and welcome back, Jaspreet. And Anandi, welcome back. So
Yes, ma'am.
today, how are you, Anandi?
Fine, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Excellent, I'm good today. Did you have a good start to the week?
Yes, ma'am. It is a good start.
Okay, great. That's great to hear. So today we're going to just summarize tenses, all of the tenses. We're going to start basic and try and get a little bit more complicated by the end of the session. But it's going to sort of give me a good idea of where are the areas of focus. And then hopefully this will be a good way to move on to more complex sentences that we can do maybe on Thursday, that Shailendra suggested.
Ma'am,
So,
I have a problem to understand a native speaker like you, ma'am. How to overcome that problem, ma'am?
So listening to native speakers as much as possible, but it is difficult because when you're learning a new language, listening to that language is difficult enough, and then listening to lots of different accents is very difficult. I have the same problem with French. When you first start learning a language, you just focus on just trying to hear the differences between your language and the language you're learning, and then suddenly you have to listen to people speaking very fast with very different accents sometimes. So yes, it's about listening as much as possible, but I would suggest listening to as many different English accents as you can. American, British, different British accents, Australian accents, because if you listen to a lot of them, you will start noticing the differences, but you'll also start noticing that you are understanding the individual words. You'll start noticing the similarities of where you can pick up what people are trying to say. So
Yes, ma'am.
So maybe go through YouTube, try and listen to lots of different accents, lots of different English accents, and see if you can understand them. That will help. Yeah, sometimes I do also speak quite quickly in the live. That also makes it a bit more difficult. But yeah, practicing with different accents is a very good way to practice hearing. Sajid says, phrases are necessary to use during speaking. Something we neglect the phrase. I'm not sure what your word Dan means, Sajid. Phrases are necessary to use during speaking when we can neglect phrase. Can we neglect phrases? You're always using a phrase, especially with speaking. There are whole phrases that we use that might not be perfect grammar, especially with informal conversational speaking. Learning phrases is more about helping you as a learner have something to respond to someone in a situation or to say in a situation. It gives you less to learn than having to think about how to put the individual words together. It's more about simplifying, making your learning more simple.
How to learn phrases by using book or any other media, or kindly suggest, ma'am.
So if you hear somebody, so you have to understand the phrase. That's the first thing. You need to understand it. If you experience a phrase that you hear someone use, I think, can everyone hear me? Krishna says there are sound problems. Is my voice clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. So Anandi, you can you have to make sure you understand what the meaning of the phrase is, and you can practice learning what to say in what situation. So if you hear a phrase said that describes how someone is feeling and you like that phrase, you can learn the phrase and use it when you want to talk about your own feelings, for example. That's a basic way to use it. So it really depends on the kinds of phrases that you're also learning, because either you could be learning a phrase that acts as an adjective, a phrase that acts as a verb. Those are shorter phrases, or you could be learning a whole phrase that acts as a sentence. So maybe you like the way that someone replies to someone else in a conversation, and you like that whole sentence. You can learn that whole sentence structure and try and use it. Maybe you could replace one different word, one adjective, to change it slightly, but the whole sentence structure you keep the same. So it's that you don't have to keep adding, thinking how to add more words to make more complex sentences. So it's easier than just learning individual words and not knowing how to use them, for example. So maybe you might think about the word, any kind of word, any adjective. If you learn it on its own, you're going to think, how do I use it? When is it right to use it with another word? But if you learn it also in a sentence, you get an idea of how to use it. Does that help, Anandi? I think I was. Okay.
Yes,
Sarika
ma'am.
says, that's good. Sarika says, although you're right, listening is important, but I found you learn only by surroundings. It depends on the learner. Different people learn by different methods. Definitely, most people learn by surroundings, because that's how we experience the world. But some people do also like learning through reading. It's also about what people prefer. But not everyone has the option to go to the country that speaks the language that they learn. So you have to think of other ways to learn. Definitely complete immersion in a country that speaks the language you're learning is helpful. For example, I'm learning French, but I can't go to France right now. So there are other ways. I think I've still made huge progress. But there are also other ways to have your surroundings help you. Listening to podcasts, that's part of your surroundings. That's part of what you're taking in. If you can talk to other learners, that really helps as well, but not everyone has that opportunity. So it depends on what opportunities you have available, how you work as a learner, and what your goals are. Sarika says dead gorgeous means really smart looking. Is it correct? No, so dead gorgeous is super gorgeous. We actually say drop dead gorgeous. It's a phrase to mean somebody is super stunning. So we would say that for models. You might say that model was drop dead gorgeous. It's a strange phrase because it sounds like it should be something negative, but drop dead gorgeous or drop dead amazing, drop dead stunning, usually a verb, usually an adjective that means good looking. So extremely good looking. So you can use it, yeah, maybe if you go to a runway show or something like that. Or you can also use it for clothes. So you can say those clothes were drop dead gorgeous, or the accessories were drop dead gorgeous. Or so anything that you want to describe as extremely beautiful. So it can be people, usually that's the most common, clothes, and sometimes furniture or interiors or decoration. It's quite a nice phrase, and it will make you sound very fluent if you use it. Okay, interesting, Kamilini. Yes. So I was just discussing with a previous student who wanted a more English accent, the differences between British and American accents. There are quite a lot of differences that you can focus on because a lot of the sounds are quite different. Americans pronounce a lot of sounds that the British don't. For example, the ER at the end of the word. So with words like better, weather, the Americans pronounce the R, but the British speaker doesn't. So Americans would say better, weather, things like that. But a British speaker would say weather, better. So yes, there is quite a big difference with pronunciation. But there are so many differences. But yes, if you want to focus on having a more British or more American accent, those are the little things that you would focus on. Okay, so let's start going through some. Chetan says, has it gotten negative connotation, gorgeous? No, it's not got a negative connotation. Drop dead sounds like it should be something negative, but it's not. It's actually positive. If you say drop dead with the adjective after it. So you're not telling someone, not a command, not telling someone to drop dead, that's definitely negative. But if you say, wow, that dress was drop dead gorgeous, it's definitely positive. It means amazingly gorgeous. That dress was so beautiful that I couldn't cope with how beautiful it was. That's what we mean. So it's definitely positive. Gorgeous is definitely positive. It's a synonym for stunning, beautiful. Sarika says, is Canadian English different from British or American English? Yes, it is. There are more similarities with American and Canadian English. That's why sometimes you will hear Canadian speakers speaking English and you will think that they are American. They can easily pass for American, but there are subtle differences. There are people who have stronger Canadian accents and it's obvious that they're Canadian, but for the people who have a more subtle accent, there are times when the American and the Canadian accent crosses over. The Canadian accent does have, you can call it sort of influence from French. So yeah, I'm not quite familiar with how to make those different sounds. But yes, Canadian is very different. Yeah, Sarika, that's a perfect sentence. Yeah, well done. Okay, so lots of requests for the next few lessons. Syllables, pronunciation. Yeah, we can look at the difference between American and British accents as well. Intonation. We'll try to do reading comprehension, creative writing, and complex sentences. So those will be some topics that we will.
Ma'am, I was asking for this topic in all other sessions, ma'am, like for syllable and intonation, because I don't know what is the basic rule for syllable, ma'am, because there are 1, 2, 3 multiples, and on which words we need to give proper stress, ma'am.
Yeah, the stress is always very difficult. And also the stress can also be different with different accents. So like I said, the Americans tend to miss off, sorry, the British tend to miss off some letters. We say whether, the Americans will say whether, so they put more of the stress at the end because they say the end. So it is a bit different. So to do a topic like that, we would sort of have to compare the different accents.
Yeah, ma'am. So like in different countries, the accent will be different. That's what you mean. The stress will be different on the sentence, like better in British, and in American, R is silent, better.
So American, the R isn't silent. They have a rolling R. They'll say better, better.
Oh,
whether.
Okay. It's quite
so
different.
They will pronounce it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the stress isn't always different. There are very common words where the stress will be the same, but there are subtle differences. So that can make it a bit more difficult. So it would sort of be a
can
very
we do
long
that like
session.
without imitating anyone? Like, can we develop our own accent and learn proper stressing on the words?
Yeah, definitely.
And how do we learn that, ma'am? Like, we should know the basic rule of syllables.
So yeah, the stress isn't always due to it's not due to the number of syllables. It's just knowing where to place the stress at which part of the word. So yes, you can definitely know what part of the word to stress and not have to completely change your accent. Yeah, so the syllable thing is sort of separate issue.
Because ma'am, I have been watching videos for it, ma'am. Like just for a single words, they use different, like for where, the rising voice, how it will be where, and for a falling voice, how it will be, ma'am. And when you are like surprising expression, how it will change.
Yeah. So that's when you are changing the purpose of why you're speaking. We can do that as well.
Yeah,
so,
ma'am, that will be good topic and it will be interesting, ma'am. Like if you take any video and make us practice on that.
Okay, so depending on, right, yeah. There are some funny exercises that we can do where you can sort of say the same sentence, but you can mean very different things depending on how you say it. So we can maybe have a go at that. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, like a question, for example, usually will have a rising pitch at the end or rising intonation. That's usually how we ask a question. But yeah, there are general rules for stress as well that we can go through. They're not always true, but in general, you can follow those rules. So we can do those general stress rules as well.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. Oh, good evening, ma'am.
Hi, Isha. How are you?
I'm good, ma'am. How's you?
I'm good. Have you had a good start to the week?
Ma'am, hello?
Hello?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Hello?
Have you? Hi, Isha. Yeah? Can you hear me?
Loud, if you don't mind.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, right now I'm here.
Okay, we're just discussing different topics that people are requesting for the next week. So we're going to do figures of speech, complex sentences, reading comprehension, stress, intonation. So those are the kinds of topics people have requested for the next few lessons. Some of them are quite complex topics, so we'll have to split them into more than one lesson.
Okay.
Kamalini says better the sound of R in American accent. Yeah, it's rolling out better whether they save the R and they almost stress it, whereas British, we leave those out. We'll say better, weather, summer. Americans will say summer. We'll say summer. So yeah, lots of different ways to pronounce things. The British often leave out sounds. Not always, but it's more common for the British to leave out sounds. There's sort of jokes in America that we leave out lots of sounds that we don't pronounce all the sounds in the words. And yes, there can be different stress, as I was talking about with Raji, that in some words there is different stress. So yeah, even though, like I said, Raji, even though you can have your own accent, if you place the stress on words that are a bit different with American and British, you will sound more American or more British, depending on sort of the choices you make with those. But
Yeah,
we'll go through
now,
those.
nowadays I'm focusing on that, ma'am.
But in India, we have different Indian accent, ma'am. We speak English totally different from the British and American.
Yeah, and that's great. I think it's great that there are so many.
Yeah, if we will copy, speak like British, yeah, American people start laughing. Are you mad or what? Why you are doing so much so on? So we are speak like Indian most of the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely don't think. I think the idea is you want to keep your own accent, but if you make sort of different stresses, even if I did it, if I stressed a certain word differently, I would sound, when I was saying that word, more American than British, because those are the different choices. But of course, people use those stresses in different parts.
Yeah. This is the reason we create the British, American accent.
Yeah, it's true. American intonation can be easier to understand. Yeah, they pronounce more of the words there. It can be more clearer. That's very true as well. So you can make those different choices depending on what suits you.
British accent, ma'am. I just have to open my mouth very differently, ma'am. It looks sometimes so weird.
Yeah, there are very different ways
you have to open
use your mouth.
Even your lips, your tongue.
Yeah, it's true. It's quite interesting. I think, yeah, all over the world, it's very, very different.
Ma'am,
yeah,
and
so
even in
great.
American, they have habit like they skip some words like, what are you doing this weekend? The simple sentence. So they will ask, what are you doing this weekend?
Actually, they don't say A-R-E-R. They say R, only R.
No, but that too very fast, and even they will not say R properly. What are you doing this weekend? And we say, what are you doing this weekend?
Actually, maybe because they have their their like their basic language, mother tongue. Their mother tongue is English. That's why maybe because when we speak Hindi, we can speak in a like speedy way. But when we speak in English, we have less
We slow
speed.
down our speed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. In speech, often in any native language, you will skip some words. Some phrases in speech technically are grammatically incorrect. What you're doing this weekend, it's not technically proper grammar. You're missing some things out, but it works because we say it so commonly, so often. So yes, I think all languages have that sort of more informal conversation. So yeah,
Sometimes-
Americans do that, British will do that. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when we are tired, we can't speak English, but we can speak our mother tongue without any effort. That's why maybe.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, languages, it takes brain power. Yeah, definitely. Kamalini says, I'm in a dilemma. So yeah, dilemma. So you can swap the E and the I.
It's double M.
Choosing accent. Pardon?
The spelling is
Yeah,
incorrect.
double M as well. Yeah, yeah. So you can swap it.
It's dilemma
and add
or dilemma.
Again, this depends on your accent. I say dilemma.
Dilemma. Okay.
Yeah, dilemma. Yeah, so usually you can say I'm in a dilemma or I have a dilemma. How did you of choosing? So we say I'm in a dilemma or I have a dilemma.
I have a dilemma.
So yeah, Kamalini, you can say I'm in a dilemma of choosing accent because I'm fond of both British and American accent. You can't have my cake and eat it too. Yeah, exactly. The thing to do is to decide how you're going to say certain words, how you're going to spell them. I think it's more important when you're deciding is in the spelling, because the spelling it's more important when you're writing something to be uniform, to keep the same rules, to not spell one word one way and another word a different way with different rules. So if you decide to spell things that sound like flavor, Americans will spell it like this, or you can spell it like this. So decide, are you going to spell?
I am in a dilemma. ऐसे बोल रहे हैं, we speak like I am in a dilemma.
Yeah, you can say I'm in a dilemma. That's fine as well. I have a dilemma.
I have a dilemma or I am a dilemma. Is it same?
We don't say I am a dilemma. I am in a dilemma.
Yeah, I am in a dilemma.
Yeah.
These both words are same, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's not so important to decide if you're going to speak American or British. It's more important to decide your spelling choice. And then you can sort of change your accent, because as long as you're understandable, you don't have to be as uniform. It's more that with spelling rules, you want to keep the same rules, the same patterns.
You do oiling?
Pardon?
You do oiling at your hair?
Oiling?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what oiling is.
Oiling means oil at your hair.
Oil in my hair?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I don't. My hair's no, I don't. My hair's too thin for that.
What you say for oiling, like what
Yeah,
you say what you
hair
call
oil.
oily? Hair oil.
Yeah, do you add oil to your hair, we say. So we don't have a verb for it.
Okay. You generally don't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be great if we did. Yeah.
Ma'am, how do you take care of your hair then? Hair? Like, are you going for hair spa?
No, I haven't in a long time. I just wash it. That's all I do because my hair is very thin, so it gets greasy very quickly. So I don't add oil or conditioner, but I try and use those block soaps, not liquid soap.
Ma'am, which makeup brand do you use?
Oh God.
Makeup.
Yeah.
I use different brands. In South Africa, we have different brands. H&M sometimes.
H&M.
Things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Maybelline is right.
And
Yeah,
other than that,
I've used it before in the past. I've used Maybelline in the past. It's very good for eyelashes.
Do you have any
for
organic
mascara.
brand, specific organic brand in South Africa?
Yes, the organic brands are becoming more popular, but we don't have, they're not as big. There's a lot of different brands. I don't think they're completely organic yet. Not for things like mascara.
have you used Benefit lip balm?
Yes, it's very good.
You know,
Yes, I like Benefits.
It's nice. Their lip balm is very nice.
Yeah, they have a really, really good. Yeah, I think Benefit's very good. It's a British brand, so I have used it. We also have lots of South African brands that have nice sort of lip balms and things. We have it. Pardon?
Ma'am, I can't understand what is going on.
Because you can't use lip balm. That's why.
We actually have an amazing beauty company. It's a really fascinating story. It was her family's originally from India.
Yes.
She lives in South Africa, and she started this makeup company when she was 15 in South Africa, and now she's only 21, and she still owns this beauty company, and it's very popular with young girls and women in their 20s. So,
company?
Pardon?
What's
the
the name of her company?
Oh, I can't believe I've forgotten. It'll come to me. Something beauty. It'll come to me. But it's an amazing story. She's only 21, and yeah.
And does she make
we can have one session on cosmetics.
Yeah, we can. We can do, because I don't think all the
it will be
men will
totally
turn up.
different topic.
We can get over.
And Shailendra will get so
Ma'am,
many ideas.
I will be on leave, ma'am, on that day.
No. It's just a way of speaking. We're trying to speak our day-to-day
Everybody
life.
has everybody needs to know everything a little bit. I think maybe
Yeah.
someday your wife will lead it. Like she will be happy that you have so much of knowledge regarding cosmetic brands.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know, it might come in handy at some point.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose we could get very technical and
might come in handy.
Yeah, it's a good phrase. It might come in handy. It means something might be useful. So handy is another very informal adjective for useful. It might come in handy. It might be useful, we say. So we also sometimes
to learn phrases, any book is available, ma'am, online or offline.
I can't think of a specific book for phrases. I think any book
because
will have...
in my surrounding they are speaking in my own language only. That's what it is difficult to identify or to know the person to speak a phrase.
You can find different phrases on Google as well. You don't need to buy anything.
Yeah, definitely. And all books will have sort of the whole phrases. All books will have phrases in them. It also depends on the level that you want. So definitely at the higher levels, books will have great example sentences of sort of complex phrases that you can learn and use. So if you want to get a book because you prefer having a book to just doing online, then go for the
Word Power Made Easy.
Pardon?
There's a book, Word Power Made Easy.
Okay, I've not heard of it.
No,
I always
very common. It
that's
is
not
very
good for phrases. It should be different. That is only for different words. Some advanced word power made it
different
easy.
words.
Yeah.
Have you read that?
Not not completely.
What
Just
book, Raji?
I just lived through few pages,
I
two, three
have heard
pages.
it is I have heard it is a very good book to
What is
to
the
build your
book
Word
name?
power. Word power.
Word Power Made Easy. It is very cheap also. Like it is of 150 or
Book
200.
name is Word Power.
But
Word
it's
Power
not
Made
useful
Easy.
for phrases. Let's ask to ma'am for phrases. Ma'am was about to say something.
Well, I think the Cambridge produces lots of very good books, and Oxford, they always have great phrases in them. They're not the cheapest, obviously, but they also have great websites. So if you go on Cambridge Dictionary, for example, they have.
I have Cambridge Dictionary.
Yeah, it's Cambridge Learners Dictionary. So they make it for learners. Their explanation is for learners, and they have.
It is very मोटी को क्या बोलते हैं?
Did you find it difficult?
No, it is very heavy dictionary. Like
So
they
not the one that you buy, not the dictionary they buy online, because they have a blog as well, and they have phrases that they release every week for the blog. So there might be phrases to do with the weather.
Cambridge Dictionary, yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, Cambridge Learner Dictionary online, and they have a blog. So they have a weekly blog where they release phrases and they will explain how to use them and give you examples. So they also, it's a dictionary, an online dictionary, but they have really good explanations. And they have a really good blog where they'll give you good phrases and things you can use. So I really, really suggest you use that. It's really excellent.
Yeah, ma'am. Cambridge is really good.
Yeah, so their online dictionary. And the blog is the thing that will list things by phrases. The dictionary online, you'll have to search for specific words and phrases, but the blog will they have top 10 weather phrases, things like that.
Ma'am,
So,
like if any book is there with pictures, with explanation how it originated, it will attract more. It fascinates more, ma'am.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the history of it. Yeah, they might have a little bit of the history. It's more about how to use it and why we use it. But yeah, the history is also really interesting. I think that's also really interesting.
Yeah, like with images, if the phrases or any idiom is there with images, we can relate it easily and we can remember it, ma'am.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that really helps. That's why I try and always have images. Yeah, I don't think you always get that in books or online, but definitely it's a way to help you remember it. Yeah, so Christy, we have done a lot of chit chat, but we've planned a lot of upcoming lessons. So we've got a lot of upcoming topics that we're going to go through. So reading comprehension, figures of speech, complex sentences, intonation, stress. I'll try and give you some good book recommendations as well. We will, for the last 10 minutes, we'll focus on tenses. We'll summarize tenses, some of the tenses that we can go through. And I want to know any areas that you find difficult with tenses. Are there tenses that you struggle with? Are there tenses?
Future tense, ma'am. In future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, past perfect.
The past perfect.
we will tell name of it. It's tense, ma'am.
So the past perfect, the future perfect.
It is difficult to identify that sentences belongs to which type of tense, ma'am.
Okay.
We know the structure very well, but it is difficult to identify that sentences belongs to which type of tense.
Okay, identifying tenses.
Ma'am, can you tell the one difference, like in future continuous, is it necessary to give mention always time? Like in future perfect continuous, we need to mention always about time. Duration, ma'am.
You mean, you don't always need to mention how long you'll be doing something, because you can say that you'll be doing something. You don't have to say how long for. So you can say, I will be eating my dinner at that time. So you can just say when you'll be doing something, when in the future. You don't have to say how long you'll be doing it for. It's usually that you are just identifying that it's in the future.
Yeah.
So duration isn't as important as when. So good evening, Santosh. Thank you for joining. I'm good. Yes, if anyone has any other things on tenses, we'll also try and cover that. Oh, excellent, Kamini. That's great to hear. Congratulations to your sister. Chi-Tan says super perfect dimple future past simple. Not sure what the dimple is. Super perfect, no future tense topics. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, we'll try and what we'll do then. We'll try and do it a bit this time for a little bit of practice. We'll try identifying the differences between the tenses. That will be something that will help you notice the differences and how to construct it. So once you get practice between seeing all the different ways that you can use it and write it, it will help you understand. Okay, so let's try and start with a few simple sentences. And then we will try and get a bit harder in the last 8 minutes. Unfortunately, I have to leave today exactly on time because I have a lesson afterwards, but we'll continue all these topics and try and get through them quite quickly next time with set things, now that I know all the different things that you want to go through. Okay, so we focused on the future and the past, it seems. Nobody has a problem with the present or when to use the present continuous. Is that right? Does anyone struggle with any present tenses?
No, present is clear.
Okay,
yeah.
Because that can be a good starting point. Because if you think about the present perfect, sorry, the present tense and the past perfect, let's say I have eaten my food. What tense would you say that was in?
Present perfect.
Yeah, excellent. I have been to Japan. What tense do we think this is?
Present perfect.
Present perfect.
Yeah, excellent. I had eaten the food.
Past perfect.
Past perfect.
Yeah.
Like this example, we can, ma'am, we can frame such sentences, ma'am, in all the tenses. But the thing is actual usage. Like Shailendra asked for past perfect. So this is one situation. I had eaten the food. And one other
What